Right, since I last saw you, there's not really been much done, and none of it really of any importance. I've done the handbrake, which is on another video. I've reconnected the starter motor leads. Everything's cleaned up. The slightly damaged end on one of the wires, I don't know why it is damaged. There's nothing wrong with the wire itself at all, so I don't know how that's happened. So it's gone back on because the wire and the connector is absolutely fine. I've bunged on the choke cable and the throttle cable. Again, very quick, one clip, a pin in the clip and a spring. And then I fitted the wiring across to the alternator and the alternator itself. One long through bolt, one adjusting bolt. That's it. So we've not missed much. So let's go on with the important bits. Right, the next thing to look at is the handbrake, which is a bit long, shall we say. Now it's out about 5 or 6 clicks at the minute, and the gap's pretty even. That one's slightly bigger, but I suspect the cable's out of adjustment as well. So I'll release the handbrake, put it on one click in the car, and then redo these two, and then tighten up the cable, and just see if we get anything better. Right, the lever in the car is set on one click. I'm just going to back off the cable, just so we know that's not interfering. Right, the cable's not having any effect on that now. The wheel's off the ground. And they're barely touching one click in, so we can go up a bit further. We break the 14 millis. And then you can buy special ring spanners to do this, but I've just got a cut down 24 milli I bought for £1 because I'm tight. Just bring that in contact with the disc. Lock it back up. Bit of play in those arms, but I'm sure it'll be okay. And slightly more drag, but that's okay because we're a click out inside, so I'm not bothered about that. Same again, just touching it. This is where the ring spanner is slightly better. These inside ones. Okay. Now make sure the cable is good and tight. I might be getting in your way here. Apologies if I am. It's difficult to fit everything in. Okay, we'll try that. The inside one's very slim. Which makes them difficult to hold. Do. Right, let's try it inside the car. Right, it's really dark in here. You have to go by listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really tight on a 5. With the handbrake off completely, The wheel turns freely, and you can just hear it dragging very, very, very slightly. Now that's good. Right. Okay, handbrake done. I've bunged on the heat exchangers, which sadly are a bit knackered. Both of them. And also the cables are knackered. The cross one's poor, and the one into the car appears to be seized. I've been through all my spare parts and I can't find any, so I'll have to keep an eye out for some usable heat exchangers. Okay, so bunged the bumper in place, which is starting to go rusty already, as usual along the seams. It's not that old. And then I'll put the light bar on next, I think. Connect up the wiring. I need to find a fuel line hose clip and one short because of the changeover from braided hoses. And then we could try spinning it over. Right, MOT wise, the rest of it, all the tyres are good. Plenty of tread on them. The handbrake's been done. I know the foot brake's okay. Although I've got French pads fitted from, can't remember the name of the people now. Anyway, the ones regularly sold by French 2CV specialists, and they're rubbish. They really are. So I regret not using Valio there. There are no leaks, brake-wise. Foot brake's good, doesn't pull. The washer I've converted to electric just because the old squirty rubber diaphragm one packed up. It's on a galvanised chassis, as we know. All the gaiters are good. Nothing wrong with them. Track rod ends were new not that long ago, although they've got a peculiar rusty colour. I might wipe them down with some dirty engine oil to make it all match. So next we need to check the kingpins. Right, I've bunged some grease in the kingpins. I'm not expecting any. I've got some in the room. I'm not expecting any problems because they're not that old. But let's have a look. No, it's nothing in them at all. Track rod ends should be okay, they're new. Yep. Nothing in the bearings, they're quiet anyway. So that's all good. The rack, I don't know if I can see this. The rack I rebuilt some time ago, so that should be okay. Arm bearings. I didn't notice anything then when I was wiggling the wheel in and out. So I'll check that aside, but that should be good to go. Right, structurally I've not got any worries, and sills and all that sort of bang on. I've got a loose, but that's going to be sorted out when I drop the petrol tank to replace the fuel pipe at the rear, which will be the next job, I think. Right, I've temporarily hooked up the wiring. I still need to tidy lots of it up, but I've put new ends on the coil and that sort of stuff. And then I filled it with oil a few days ago, and I left some cardboard underneath just to make sure it wasn't dropping any oil, which it isn't. So now we need to find out if we've got an oil light. Which we have. Will it go out as I turn the engine over? Will the engine turn over even? No, it won't. Right, check the earth. Let's try again. There we go. So we've got a dicky earth. Another piece of wiring I need to sort out, but yep, oil light works and it goes out and I can smell petrol. Okay, I'll bung the plugs in and see if we get any spluttering light from it. Right, it's definitely fuel up, I've checked. The plugs are now in. They were out for the initial crank. It's freezing cold. In fact, it's freezing cold in here. It's snowing outside at the minute. The fan's still off because I want to recheck the points and timing. I've clamped on the additional earth lead, which is causing a problem. I'm not sure why this needs an extra earth lead. I'll have to look into that when I'm looking at the wiring. That's it. Let's give it a go. I'm not sure how much choke I'm going to need. Choke light's not working. Well, it's running. Not very well, but it's running. It's not kicking out loads of smoke. It is making this peculiar noise though. Okay, let's see if we can find out what that noise is. Right, now it's been running for a minute, the noise seems to quieten down, so presumably just oil getting round. Needs a timing doing, needs the tappets redoing. Still needs a bit of work on the wiring at the front. Little things. But basically it's in, it's running, it's not kicking out loads of smoke. It's not knocking. It's fairly steady given I've done nothing else to it yet. So I'll run it through 2 or 3 heat cycles and then reset everything.